Good evening, everyone. Chris here, the Level Up Travel Group, and tonight we are joined by Emmanuel from CardPointers. Katie's here as well, and we're going to be diving into everything about CardPointers. Katie and I have talked about it on the podcast. We are big fans. It's an awesome tool, and Emmanuel is really just going to show us all behind the scenes and maybe a little sneak peek at what's to come and some of these features that maybe not everyone's familiar with. So I will hand it over to Katie and Emmanuel and let them work their magic.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chris. Emmanuel, thank you so much for being here tonight. We're really excited to talk with you. Before we jump into the meat of what CardPointers is all about, can you give us just the quick 30-second, like, how did you get into the idea for CardPointers? How, because it's a very niche thing. Were you in the points and miles world and then came up with this? Like, how did you end up with this product?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thanks so much again for having me. It's great to see you both on here. So I've been in the points and miles for about 10 years or so. I used to collect a lot of points, but I didn't know how to use them, so I just wasted them all. And then one fateful evening, I was having dinner with my sister and a few of her friends, and they were both really big churners and really, really into points and miles to like point where they're spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars, a month and really earning a lot of points. So I never went that deep into it, but they helped put me on the right track for how to actually use my points and how to do this kind of how to play in this space correctly. And then it's kind of evolved from there. The app was originally to solve a problem that I had that my family and friends had about which card to use. And it's evolved tremendously from there.
Awesome. Sounds great. Well, let's dive into what CardPointers is all about. If you're watching this on Facebook Live and you have a question for Emmanuel, you can drop it in the comments right on Facebook, and we will try to get your question at the end of the hour or the half hour. I guess I don't know how long we're going to be here. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, I hope we answer all of your questions. So, Emmanuel, let's get to it. Tell us what CardPointers is.
Great, sure thing. Chris, if you can put that on the stage. There we go. Perfect. So before I begin, people always ask, they're going to jump into the App Store and start searching for CardPointers. So just want to put it out there up front. There is a special discount code that I set up for upgraded points. So that's at cardpointers.com/upgraded points. There's also a QR code, I think, on screen that you can scan, and that'll save you 30% on the annual lifetime plans. So, but diving into the fun stuff. So a bit of a more extended intro about me. Both my parents are French immigrants. We used to travel to France every year in economy to visit family. Never flew business class except for twice. And for some reason, I think the flight attendant was like flirting with my mom for some reason with 2 kids in tow and decided to upgrade the whole family into business class. And I was like, yes. I was like 8 years old, I think, and sitting in this gigantic seat. And I remember thinking, wow, this is like the life of luxury. I hope I can experience this again one day. And thankfully, thanks to Points and Miles, I've done that many, many more times since, and doing it the right way. So didn't have to flirt with anybody. I just earned my points. So it's a good way to do it. I studied computer science at Northwestern. Then I moved to Europe, strangely enough, and I was pursuing a racing career. So totally unrelated to Points and Miles. Software engineering was kind of my backup plan back then. As a picture of me from 2000s, like around 2003, 2004, when I was racing over in the UK. Something a little bit different. And like I was saying before with Katie, I was doing everything wrong back then. So if you're in the same boat, or if you're still kind of learning everything, we're all always learning new things. So it's important to kind of keep that in mind. So back then I was activating, or I didn't even activate my Fabrics categories. The points I earned, I had just a Chase card and Discover card back then, and I just cashed them all out, and I just never could find points flights that made sense. It was always like $1,000 in taxes and 50,000 points. I'm like, well, that's the same as buying the ticket, so why would I just throw points at it? It just made no sense to me until I figured all that stuff out. And then I worked at a few startups once I moved back to the States. None of them really gained any traction until CardPointers, which I launched 2019. So that means it's now been over 6 years since I launched the app, and it's turned into a business.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's everywhere now. You can't read a blog post or anything without hearing about CardPointers. So
yeah, great to
hear.
Yeah, it took a long time to get there, so it's crazy, but yeah. So definitely, I I practice everything I preach. So big into points and miles. One of my favorite flights was Paris to Dubai. Last minute flight. It was 2 days before New Year's Eve. 62,000 points. Kind of just on a whim. I had a friend who was in Dubai, and I was like, "Well, let's go do New Year's over there." And that had the free chauffeur service from where I was staying in Paris. The great lounge at Charles de Gaulle. Everything was just amazing. But when I went to actually check in, so I had booked a business class flight. But when they scan my boarding pass, it goes beep, like the bad beep.
Uh-oh.
And like, am I not going to be able to take the flight I've been looking forward to and like really wanted to finish the year off? And then the check-in person comes back and she goes, "Oh, we changed your seat. Now you're in 3A, I think it was." And I was doing the quick math, and I'm like, I think there are only 3 rows in first class, so I think I'm upgraded to first class. Amazing. And then that's the plane that has the shower on board. So and they asked me what time I wanted to take the shower, and I was like, the very last one. I want to finish the year in style in a shower, but a few thousand feet in the air. So yeah, that was a nice one. So the way I kind of look at things with CardPointers is my approach is kind of outsmarting the banks. They intentionally do things to make credit cards rewards complicated. But if you use the right apps and services, kind of put the advantage back in your court, and you can kind of take advantage of them and all that they offer folks. New card sign-up bonuses are great, and I still sign up for new cards a few times a year. But you can also earn a lot of points rather, with the cards you already have, and you can keep doing that over and over again forever. Category bonuses are one of the really easy ways to do that. If you have a few of the right cards, you're talking 4x, 5x points really easily. And then premium cards that I used to be very afraid of when I was doing everything wrong, because I'd never thought it made sense to pay an annual fee to earn points. But it turns out most of those premium cards, they have statement credits that are worth even more. The sign-up bonuses can make them worthwhile. So there's a ton of extra benefits there. So there's no reason to shy away from those. And another great thing, those premium cards and even a lot of free cards have Amex offers, Chase offers, those kinds of things that can be real gold mines for all the different across the 6 different banks that I support. And then, of course, if you stack category bonuses, that multiplies your savings even more. So you get 20x points on some purchases. This is stuff that you've all talked about before, so it shouldn't be new to anybody, but that's really important. Just to kind of summarize, like how important the 1 year of category awards, how quickly that adds up. If you just spend a reasonable amount on restaurants, groceries with the 5x card, you're talking 100,000 points in a year. So that's how quickly it adds up, and that's with moderate spending. So if you have a family, you have a few kids, that spending is going to be way up, especially for groceries. You're talking several business class flights, and it really adds up at the end of the year. So CardPointers is kind of my solution to outsmarting the banks. It's available pretty much across every platform. So it's on iPhone, iPad, Mac, Android, extensions as well, and Safari, Firefox, and Chrome. I'm even on the Apple Watch and Apple Vision Pro for the few folks who have one of those, but kind of run the gamut there. So you can get it pretty much anywhere you want. Apple just recently named CardPointers their app of the day twice this year, and then once last year as well. And then also included in a few of their other feature lists for the iOS 26 update that just came out, including Essential Finance app, greatest apps updated for iOS 26 and iPadOS 26, and even a must-have extension. There are a lot of folks at Apple who are the most security-conscious folks that I know of, and they use and love the extension a lot to auto other offers and some other things I'm going to show too. So,
awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it always blows my mind every time I talk to like an Apple engineer, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I use your product." I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." It's great because I've been using your products for years, so it's only fair. So to get started with CardPointers is really easy. You download the app and you can just add your cards really quickly. You just add them by picking the cards that you have. So you can filter by bank first, or just look at that list of popular cards, and it's going to be sorted by popularity of other CardPointers users. So in most cases, if you have 4 or 5 cards, it's probably in that top 10 list. Just tap, 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 and then save, and you're onboarded. So that's how easy it is to get started with CardPointers. And a really important thing is that the app, it knows everything about all of those cards. So it supports over 5,000 credit cards across almost 900 banks and credit unions, primarily in the US, but it also includes Canada, the UK, Australia, and a few other countries as well. And then that database that I built up of these cards, it knows everything about them. So it knows which cards have foreign fees, which cards earn 4x or 5x points, if there are rotating there are like credits that are recurring every month. It's going to automatically populate those for you, so you can help track that. And so it kind of takes all that hard work of memorizing or building a spreadsheet of what benefits your cards have. It automatically just sorts it all inside the app. So it kind of takes care of all that. And then a very important thing is that I never use bank logins at all. There are some other services that require you to give your bank logins, which is really scary, especially for the services that store your bank logins and don't use like a tokenized service like Plaid. The problem is Plaid doesn't do a lot of the stuff that we would need to do. And that's why I don't use that type of service with CardPointers. And instead, I built an extension that kicks in after you log in, so it never uses or stores your bank logins in any way. And in general, I would say always, think really hard before you give your bank logins to somebody. It's just a service, but most services, I'd say pretty much every service is eventually compromised. You've surely all seen those warnings about, some data leaks and those kinds of things. It's not really a matter of when, of if, but rather what, but rather when, and that definitely applies. So the way I design around that is I don't store anything sensitive by default. So A, I'll be less of a target than lots of other services, and then B, if ever or whenever my server is compromised, I have nothing of interest to anybody there, so it can't hurt you in any way. So once you've added your cards, one of the main tabs is the pointers tab. That's the one to help you make sure that you use the right card for every single purchase that you're going to make. So the pointers tab, it automatically categorizes all of your cards, again, just by the name of the card that you put into the app, across 18 different categories and thousands of different stores and subcategories. And then what you can do is just tap on any of those pointers, and then you'll immediately see, like on the right screenshot here, I looked up airline, and it knows that I have a $200 airline credit with my platinum card, and then it's going to rank all of my credit cards based on category awards for those types of purchases. So you can search for a broad category, but you can search for something specific. Like if you're looking for like Starbucks, it would show automatically if you had an offer there, and then it would rank your best cards for Starbucks purchases. The credits on your cards, those are fully integrated and trackable. Those are the automatic ones, like these airline credits, the Uber credits, Grubhub credits, those kinds of things. Another great feature is that CardPointers will actually use your device's location to automatically figure out stores nearby. So you could tap from the pointers tab, you could tap on the map view or tap on nearby, and it's going to use your location. Again, it stays on device. I don't want your location. I don't care like where you are. All I want is for you to earn more points and to save money with offers. And so, you can just do this right from the device, and it figures that all out for you. And again, these cards with rotating categories, like the Freedom Flex, which is one of my oldest cards that I never used to activate those 5X categories. CardPointers helps you track all of those. On October 1st, that was all updated first thing in the morning, so you knew which cards, what benefits you had on your cards, and how they've changed on the first of the month. And then also I send out reminders to help with links to activate those offers to make sure that you've enabled them too. Again, the banks are they tease you with these things like, oh yeah, you can earn 5X points at Amazon, but then turns out you have to activate it first. And then if you didn't do that, you don't get anything. So I don't like that. And I'd much prefer you get the money from the banks. And then once you can actually track all the spend inside the app as well. And the way that works is these little sliders, like you can see for the airline fee credit, that will apply to sign-up offers and these other recurring credits. And that way you can help keep track of it. You can also tap and hold on any of those, and it can add or set amounts. So you don't have to be in the checkout line doing math to figure out if you've maximized your 5X category that quarter. You can just do it right from the app, and it does the hard work for you. A great way to save more money on every purchase is by activating these offers that I mentioned. The most popular ones are Amex and Chase, but they're also on several other banks. And some of these are really, really good offers. This was an example from during the pandemic years. There was a Best Buy and Home Depot one to spend $50 or more, get $50 back, and you could do it twice. Amazing. It's literally free money. Anything you wanted to buy at Best Buy or Home Depot, and they sell gift cards. So you could just buy a gift card if you wanted to, but if you're going to buy some electronics or you want to buy some gifts for somebody, you literally had $100 of free money through both of those stores, which is amazing.
Yeah, where are those offers now?
I know. Well, we still get good ones, right? Like the JetBlue was recent. Like I think it was $250, spend $250, get $50 back. So it wasn't 100% back, but it's still, there's still good stuff there. And then another great strategy, which I do all the time, is I buy gift cards at office supply stores or grocery stores for things like sometimes there'll be promotions at Staples or Office Max, which are basically just free like Visa gift cards they could use to pay for anything else, like insurance payments, which I don't have a card that earns me a bonus, but because I'm buying it through my Chase Inc. cash card, which earns 5x at office supply stores, it means I get 5x points on my insurance payments. So that kind of stuff, again, just really adds up over the years. So that's a great strategy as well to earn some extra points. And of course, there are shopping portals, which are great too. Another way to kind of multiply all those things. You can kind of stack all those. So the category rewards, you can then stack like an Amex or Chase offer. And then you can also go through a portal like Rakuten or Cashback Monitor. And then you can get something like 20x, 30x points, sometimes even more. They're really kind of crazy, those offers sometimes. So any kind of big purchase, it's always a good idea to look at those. Adding offers. So this is another way that the banks really try to make things tricky for you. So this is how they want you to do it. They want you to log into like the Amex website or use their app. And then you have to go through and you have to click on every single one of the individual buttons, and you can see a video like how that works. So this is what they want you to do. Go and click add to card, and then wait, and then scroll down and click another one. They've slightly improved this about 2-3 weeks ago, but it's still a real pain. And so if you have one Amex card that's bad enough, because you have to do this 100 times because they're going to show you 100 offers. But the crazy thing is you have more than 100 offers. So you might look through this list and be like, oh, I don't want anything at Oakley. I'm not going to buy anything at Blue Nile. So you might just skip all those and not add any offers. But by doing so, you might miss out on those offers like that JetBlue one we mentioned, or like the Best Buy and Home Depot ones. Those might not have been in your first 100. It could be your 102nd, 103rd offer, but you'd never know until you added those. So one of the strategies I always recommend is that for people to auto add all of their offers to all their cards. And then that way they will ensure that they maximize their savings. You're going to get those really good offers too. You might get some ones that you don't think you'll use, but there's some strategies that I'll show you in a little bit that help surface those and help you save automatically, and nice surprise savings. So, I'm sure you probably both gotten emails where you get like, oh, congratulations on redeeming, your $20 off like Amex offer that you had no idea you even had. You're like,
great, thank you.
amazing. Okay, great.
I love it when that happens.
And then another thing too for the banks with Amex, once you add an offer to one card, they have it disappear from the other card. So if you have a really good offer like that Best Buy one, $50 off $50 purchase, if you add it to one card and then you click to another card, it's going to disappear, even though the other card was eligible. So again, they don't want you to maximize your savings there. And then worse yet is that if you have 2 or 3 or 4 Amex cards, you have to do this process over and over again with each one of them. So you could be spending like an hour plus just clicking on buttons. I think we all have something better things to do with our time than just clicking buttons on a website.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
that's the way the banks want you to do it. This is the CardPointers way. So if you download the iPhone, iPad, or Mac version, it comes with Safari extension. You just have to turn it on. But you can also download it for Chrome and Firefox for Android devices, as well as for any desktop computer. And then all you need to do is log into the bank websites that you use. And then this little animation is going to run pretty fast, but you can see a little counter down at the bottom. That's literally adding your offers in real time. And it's not only adding the offers to that card, it's adding it to every single one of your cards. And so that's where you just multiply your savings. So like that Best Buy offer, I think that one came out as I was developing like the very first version of this extension. And so one of my testings was, well, let's see if I can add it to all 4 of my cards. And I did. So not only did I get $100 at Best Buy, it was actually multiplied by 4. So I had $400 off at Best Buy to just buy anything. So I could go buy a video game console if I wanted to, and it'd be totally free just by splitting it across those cards. That's the kind of thing where CardPointers pays for itself in a day. If you have like a really good offer that you want to activate across a few cards, there you go. It's a done deal. And again, so it's available pretty much any device that you use. It comes with the Safari version. And then all of these offers, they will also sync over to your CardPointers account. So now you don't have to then keep track of them in some other spreadsheet for which card has which offer. That's all integrated automatically inside the CardPointers app, and then also in another part of the extension, which is shopping pointers. And the way this works is once you've activated those offers, or if you have credits on your cards that are automatic, when you go to those different websites, it's going to show a little box at the bottom, and it's going to tell you your best card to use, and if you have an offer like at that merchant. If you click on that, it'll expand. It'll show the 3 best cards for that store, and then if there's an offers sub tab there, you can click on that. It'll show the offers that apply there based on the highest value. You can always see all the offers if you have even more by opening the extensions pop up fully. But this is great. So this is where you can get those kind of surprise savings. So like I said, where you wouldn't necessarily add an offer for a store that you've never shopped at, if you add those offers anyhow and you let it auto add, you'll get surprise savings, like guaranteed. It happened again early on in the development. I just auto added a bunch of offers to me and my partner's cards, and she had a recommendation to go to buy, what was it called? Something Mark, I can't remember the name of the store. It was like a store I would never shop at, but it was a place that sold oysters, and it was highly recommended by a bunch of people on a Facebook group. So she goes on that website, she goes to look for oysters, and CardPointers popped up, and I was like, hey, you have, I think it was save $50 on $90 more, something, a $90 plus purchase. It was a huge offer, that was over half off, and just from that, she knew that, oh, if I use my Amex Gold card, I'm going to get 4x points, but I'm also going to get this huge savings. And, otherwise she might not have done that. She might have used her Sapphire, or, who knows what else. So that's where the extension, again, just paid for itself right off the bat by these extra savings, because these offers were auto added. If you're at a store that CardPointer doesn't know yet, you can actually help teach it. So if you're, at a smaller merchant, like a mom and pop store or something that has a website, you can actually open the pop-up and categorize it, and then it'll learn that. It'll also show up in the app as well. So you can kind of train it that way. So that's really useful. And then browser history, their extensions are powerful. And I purposely designed everything so that it all synchronizes. It's all on device. It only pulls data. It only pushes the offers that you sync, but it never ever shares your browser history. Again, I don't care where you shop. I don't care where you're located. I just want you using your credit cards right. So, my business is not that. My business is helping you maximize your rewards. So I don't do any of the sketchy stuff that a lot of extensions do. And again, very much by design. Once you've synchronized these offers and you've added them, not only do you see them as you're shopping online, but if you're you're out and about, like in a location, you can just open up the app and you can see all those offers as well. And so this groups, you can have thousands of offers across these different banks, but then triaging them all, figuring out what you want to use. This is where CardPointers is again really powerful, because you can sort that from the offers tab. You can go into the filters button at the top and you can filter by any category. So for instance, you're going on a trip and you want to find out if you have any deals for, some car rental companies. You could filter all of your offers across all the different banks for just your car rental deals and help you find the very best deals that way. And you can sort by the most valuable ones, those kinds of things. So that's super useful. And again, something you can't really do otherwise. You can also search for any merchants like Southwest Airlines, or like wine is the example here. You can just see what deals you have, for that category, or anything that has those kinds of keywords. You could see what might be available there. And there's a concept of known offers, which are basically offers that the system knows about that you may be targeted for, because every single person has different Amex and Chase offers than others. So because that's personalized, the system doesn't know which ones you have until you've added yours to the extension. But the known offers is a way to help surface that there might be a deal at that store. So it's a good distinction and good something to know about, to then encourage you to go ahead and check your cards and add them as well. Another great thing too is, as you're looking through these offers, pretty soon you're going to have hundreds or probably thousands if you have a few credit cards. So what I recommend always is let the system help you. So that's going to be the app, will surface these deals and these offers, and the website will surface them through the shopping pointers. But the ones that you really are most important to you want to make sure you use every month, you can just favorite those. And if you favorite like an offer, like the Uber credit is something I use every single month, always. I'm always traveling, or, order in like at least once a month. So I favorite that one. And then when that offer comes available again the following month, it automatically shows up on my favorites. It remembers that and automatically favorites it for you again. And that we can help keep track of those separately and make sure you maximize, those offers or credits from those cards too. So CardPointers 5, it had a map view. I think it's Amex that has a map view of like offers, but it wouldn't include all the other banks. So that's a really nice feature. Great example of this is if you go to like a shopping mall and you want to see where you have deals and offers, you can literally just pull it up right there. It'll show you right there. and a quick little map view of like, oh, like I have, $10 off at Dan's or something if you wanted like a quick snack, all these kinds of things, or like some big savings, it's presents that you want to buy. It's really useful to have that map view to see that stuff right away. And again, it consolidates it across all the banks too, which you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. I also make sure to take the map out of it. So again, the banks are tricky about how they word things. They'll do things like if the offer is 40% back up to $10, well, how much do I need to spend, right? So you can do the quick math in your head. If you're holding up like a checkout line, probably not ideal. So instead I show inside the app the optimal spend amount for those kinds of offers. And so if you want to maximize that, it would say, it'd be spend $25. If you want to get the full 40% back, $10 back. So that's how you can maximize it. And then as you redeem offers, you can see them all in several places. So one of them is in the card detail screen. There'll be a little chart that'll start showing once you redeemed offers. And then it'll also show in the upcoming card renewal section. And the purpose of that is to, again, evaluate these cards with annual fees to make sure that they're worthwhile. So if you're spending, well, now, the platinum card is up to $8.95, but the personal one in particular is so good. With the new credits are fantastic. You've got the Resi credits, the Lululemon credits, things that people can really use relatively easily as long as they know about them and they track them. One of my favorite things, I was at a conference just last week, so it was just a few days before the end of the quarter, and a guy asked me like what I did, so I started telling him, and I was like, and I just asked him, I was like, do you have a platinum card? He goes, yeah, I do. I was like, do you know about your Lululemon and Resi credits? And he had no idea. He just bought something at Lululemon. I was like, okay, well, return that, buy it again, activate the offer, return that, buy it again, and then go out to dinner tonight. It's like your last night to use your Resi credit. You have $100 free. Like, you should absolutely use awesome. It. So that was great. Like, it blew his mind. And so, that's the kind of stuff I love doing. So, and I can do it with the app across tons of people.
And he's not the only person.
Yeah, I mean, they throw you all these offers, but yeah, they just don't expect you to use all of them. So, but if you do, it's a great way to make back your money on those cards.
Absolutely.
This is like a quick example for like earning 50,000 plus points every year really easily. A user suggested this, and the way they use card pointers is they'll go to the offers tab, and because it's like a fuzzy search, it'll search not only the merchant name but offer details and everything else. So she would actually search for points specifically to find points multipliers offers. And some of these really add up. Like there's the Joe one is spend $125 or more and 4,000 membership points. So big multiplier. And so she would do this for like cruises and other things and find ways to really maximize her points. So that's really useful. You can also group offers, which is an idea from users about 2 years ago. And so what that does is instead of showing offer by offer and each card, you can see each individual offer and all the cards it was added to. And it's a great way to kind of, I guess, gloat about how many different cards got this particular offer. It's a great way to see that here. You can see it's showing that Juro one's 3 cards plus 2 more. So it's 5 different Amex cards got that offer, which, again, you couldn't do otherwise without card pointers. In search, those are those loan offers too that I mentioned. Those will show up in places to just help make sure that, that there are some offers available that you might have on your cards, so you don't miss those. Getting the best deal every time. So this is the solution for in-person, right? So the extension is when you're shopping online, but if you're searching, if you're going to shop wherever, let's say, what was my example here, at Saks Fifth Avenue. So I can just search for like Saks Fifth Avenue inside the pointers tab or in the search tab. It's going to show that pointer, which is that store. I can see a little preview saying I have a Saks Fifth Avenue credit. And if I tap on that, it's going to show the offers that are there. And again, the best cards ranked. And so that's how easy it is to just look something up. But there's an even better way to do this. And that's Autopilot. So this is available only on iOS and iPad. Android almost has an API that I need to use this, but a few things that are still required from Google. So hopefully next year I can bring this to Android. But Autopilot is kind of the peak card pointers experience. It's my favorite feature, I think, besides adding offers. And the way it works, do you both use Flighty by chance, or have you used like airlines where they automatically update on your lock screen and they show you like what gate you're boarding at? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's fantastic, right? For like flights, you don't have to think about it. You just glance at like your watch or your phone and you know where to go next. And so that's what Autopilot does for credit card rewards. And it's kind of the culmination of all the things I've built over the last few years. And the way it works is it, again, uses your location automatically, but this time in the background. And as you go from store to store, it's automatically going to update on your lock screen and figure out what the best offer is at that store where you are, or your best category reward. And it's going to show it right on your lock screen. So you can see it right then and there. And so I've added that to Apple Watch as it was added last year. Then I also added it to CarPlay, which is a new feature for iOS 26. So if you just look at your car, like when you go to park somewhere, you got Autopilot running, then you'll see right away what car to use as you walk up to that store. It's fantastic. It really feels like magic. So for anyone who hasn't tried it out, highly recommend it. I've even got it programmed in so that it's fully automated. So when I leave the perimeter of my house, like outside of like 1 kilometer of my house, it turns on Autopilot automatically. Because I figure if I'm leaving the house, I'm either going to a friend's place or I'm going to go buy something. And so this way, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to use the wrong card. I don't have to miss out on points. It just tells me what card to use without having to do any work at all. It's great. And then a fun aside, I got an email a little while ago that I literally saved one couple's marriage because her husband was always using the wrong card and they were always fighting about it. And so now instead she got Autopilot automated for him. So same thing, like when they leave, Autopilot turns on and then he just looks at his phone and he can't mess it up.
Oh,
that doesn't get you a 5-star review. I don't know what will.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot more marriages to save, but hey, at least I got one in there, so that's good. Some of the newest features. So CardPointers 7 just launched for iPhone, iPad, and Mac in September. That was the one that I mentioned. I got some good feature lists. The Android update is coming up next. I spent about a few months on every single platform, so that'll be ready in another few months. CardPointers 7 was completely redesigned for Liquid Glass, which is the new design language for all of Apple's devices. It looks, for anyone who's used CardPointers like a few years ago, it looks very, very different. Fortunately, I've gotten nothing but positive feedback about the redesign. I was really worried about that because I've been designing this thing in isolation for 3 months, but I love it. It looks a lot more mature, and so far it's had a really good reception. So very happy about that. So besides the redesign, there's also on-device AI. So just like ChatGPT that so many people are using these days, you can do the same thing now right inside the app, and it's all on device. So you can just ask, it's literally a shortcut called Ask CardPointers. There's a button right inside of the main For You screen, but you can also just ask Siri. You can just trigger that word, then say Ask CardPointers, and then ask it any question at all that you want. This is a great example. So you could just also ask Siri, what card should I use at Starbucks? And it can figure that out automatically if you use the AI system. And again, that stays on device. It uses Apple Intelligence. It's called a foundation model, so it stays on device. It's quite fast, and because I have all the information about your cards and your offers and the pointers, it can automatically figure all that stuff out. So anything you want to know about your cards or offers, it's right there for you. There's also multiple user profiles. So that's the story that I shared about saving that couple's marriage. It's because they're using user profiles, which is great. So you can help your P2, since most people have a P2 who are not as into points and miles as we are. If it doesn't save your marriage, it'll at least help a lot to make sure that they're using the right credits and help know when to get like a new credit card for them, for instance. Here I'm showing the screenshot. This is the Chase 524 screen that shows you which cards are contributing and when you're eligible for a new Chase card, for instance, because again, those sign-up bonuses are great. But here you can track for your P2s as well. So if you're helping to manage when to sign up for cards, I do that myself still with my parents. They don't know all the rules about the banks and when to sign up for cards. So I help manage that for them. They love all the perks, but they don't want to do any of their work, right? So they love flying business class, but yeah, they want the very simplest thing that they can do. So I help manage that for them by adding profiles for their accounts inside of my own account.
How many user profiles can you add?
Up to 6.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a great addition.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And then there's also a bunch of other integrations. So you can use the control center. There are lock screen controls. There is tons of widgets that you can see in this right screenshot. There's lots of ways to get the information that you want. Again, I don't track metrics like app opens. I don't have analytics like around that. Again, I don't care like how often you use the app. I just want you to be using it right and using your cards right. So if the widgets give you all that you need, then that's great. You don't have to open the app. I don't get paid more because someone opens the app. Like I don't care. I just want you to get the answers that you need. Interactive widgets too are really cool. So that was launched last year, and that's included in CarPlay as well. That's a new feature with iOS 26, which is quite nice. And Autopilot, like I said, now works in CarPlay and Apple Watch as well. That all syncs over from your phone. And then CardPointers 7 adds supports for authorized user cards. I didn't have a way to distinguish those before since they have different benefits and offers. Some cards do. So now you can specify a card as a primary card holder or an authorized user card. Support for debit cards now as well. So that's all properly tracked. They won't impact your 524 status and other things. That's very useful. Competitors, the spoiler is that CardPointers has the best rating. The points guy, it's mostly about pushing you to sign up for credit cards. They're not really super helpful. They don't really want you to maximize the cards you have right now. It's more like a marketing engine and stuff, so it's not super helpful. They do link bank accounts through MX to show you points balances and account balances, but again, you can see the reviews. It's just not really what most people want. There you go. Chris says it all. Big thumbs down. So Max Rewards is another one. They do all the stuff wrong about security. So they use and store your bank logins. They get users' bank accounts locked all the time. There was, when I was preparing these slides a while ago, it was like 8 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes prior to me preparing them, someone had posted this, that their account was completely locked because they shared their bank logins and Max Rewards pretended to log in as them. So it's really bad stuff, and that's kind of like the better side of things. Like the way it could be is so much worse, right? If you're actually banking at Chase and you have money on there, you're giving someone like your bank logins, like they can log in, withdraw all your money. I mean, it's just crazy. So yeah, don't give your bank logins to people. It's just a bad idea. Lastly, so like I said, there is a special link at cardpointers.com / upgraded points. That gets you 30% off. In fact, it could get you even a little bit more because the prices are going up this month. I'm rolling that out in some stages, but it'll save you at least 30% and maybe even 44% off the normal prices on the App Store. And so that's $50 a year or $168 for lifetime access. That's really lifetime. People who upgraded to lifetime back in 2020, 2021, they've had all the new updates every year, never have to pay another dime. And they're just getting more and more good stuff every single year as I release these big new updates. And then lifetime includes the $100 savings card, which is great, particularly for vacation activities. It's really nice for that. So it's through a service called Book VIP Plus. Basically gives you like discounted rates for different things, but the savings card you can use for a portion of that. So if you had like want to go like snorkeling or something for $100, it would be a discount. It's like $88, and then you can use the savings card for like $30 of that. So your out of pocket's like $58. So it's a good way to save some extra money and just an extra thank you for going lifetime and supporting the app. Just leave that up, and then happy to answer any kind of questions. I can do demos with the simulator. Happy to talk all things points and miles, the app, anything you guys want.
Yeah, definitely. We have a couple questions that were already submitted. I think you've answered some of them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, I know one of the questions that I get asked a lot, and maybe you can just walk through this, is how do people set up their CardPointers account so those Amex offers and Chase offers get added automatically? Because I think that's one of the coolest features of this app.
Sure. So if you've got iPhone, iPad, or Mac, it comes with that Safari extension. You just have to turn it on. There are instructions. I have a help center at help.cardpointers.com, and it kind of guides you through it. But it's really just a few steps. You just turn it on in settings, and then you log into the bank websites that you use normally. The extension only kicks in after you've logged in. One thing to note, sometimes people get confused. They try to log in with the Amex or Chase app, and extensions don't work in the app. They work in browser. So you want to make sure you're logging into AmericanExpress.com, Chase.com, Citi.com, etc. And then after you've logged in, it's going to confirm once that you want to auto add all of your offers. And once you say you do, every time you log into those bank websites, it's going to auto add all of those offers. And I do some things too to help remind you about that. So I've got this notion of offer streak, which has a new UI in CardPointers 7. The people who keep their streak alive, which means that they add like at least one offer through the extension once a week. Those are the people who really maximize their savings with the app. So I definitely encourage people to keep those streaks alive, keep adding a lot of offers. It'll even show you how many offers you've added over time. I have users who've added hundreds of thousands of offers. Like it's crazy. Some people who have tons of cards and just doing, really maximizing things. So it's a great way to do it. So yeah, on those platforms, it's a Safari extension that comes with it. On others, on Android, you can install the Firefox or Chrome one. And then on the desktop computer, same thing. You can do Firefox or Chrome or Safari on Mac, and then just log into those bank websites after turning it on, and it does all the magic for you.
Yeah, I actually finally just did this, like more recent than I want to admit. And it was very easy. And I was happy about that. And I'm really happy. I think one of my hesitations when I heard about CardPointers however long ago was, the whole security issue. And so I love that you don't have to input any of your bank information or your credit card, numbers or anything like that. It does feel very secure. And before I did the extension to add all the Chase offers, I had my husband look at it, who is in security, internet security, cloud security, all that. And I was like, just double check, look at this, make sure everything's good. And he's like, yeah, it looks cool. So it's just nice. It does feel very secure. I've had no issues with anything since I've done that. So it's just nice to know that is important from your perspective as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. From the beginning, every single thing I've done was around security and privacy first. It's something that I very much believe in, and it also aligns really well with users, and it treats people with respect. I've kind of been my approach to everything is I try to treat people the way I want to be treated myself, and so that goes to the way I build the app, the way I've architected things, the way I reply into support emails. Like I always try to be really quick to reply to people, always try to surprise and delight them when I can. So it's very much always been the approach to things. And I'm glad that you had someone audit, because I think that is important as well. I even have a help document. If you search for permissions, I think in the help center, it actually guides you through how to check it yourself. So you can check that what I'm telling you is true, that I don't collect any information. I don't send anything about how much cash you have, like that kind of, like, there's nothing like that leaves the device. It's only the offers that you sync. And then after that, it's just pull. It doesn't push any information that you browse with or anything like that.
That's awesome. And in that offers section on the app, I know you showed us tonight how you can sort by category. And I actually didn't realize that. So I'm going to go back and play with that. But when I'm looking at, my list of offers, I'll see, the same offer that's available on 5 different cards. And some of them have like the little button where you can just click it and it snoozes it and it kind of goes away and cleans up that section. Is there any way to do that in bulk, or like to say, any offer from this vendor for this card, snooze, or do you have to go through and snooze each one individually?
Yeah, so you can bulk edit. So one way to do that is that feature. So in the offers tab, there's an edit button. If you tap on it, and this works across all the platforms, you can then just search for like a part of a name, and you can then, there's a select all button. So you can just select all of them at once and take action on them. And that could be any action. So you can snooze all of them, delete, favorite them all, those kinds of things, even undo all this. So that's one way to do it. If you group things as well, it's another good way to do it. So if it's one offer across 6 cards, for instance, okay, yeah, there you go. So that's the bulk.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah.
Another thing too that I always forget to mention, but there's also this notion of smart lists and offer alerts, and you can auto favorite things. So if you want to be notified as soon as there's an offer at Starbucks, because you love Starbucks, you go every single day, you can add that. It's on iOS only. It's coming to Android in the next update, but you can just add an offer alert for Starbucks, and you can have it auto favorite it. So as soon as you have an offer for that, it's going to favorite it automatically. And it's also going to email you about it to let you know there's a new offer available, like from Amex or Chase or whatever bank has it. And that way you can kind of hurry and get it. So, Starbucks is kind of a silly example, but like JetBlue, for instance, a lot of people love that airline, myself included. So I have an offer alert set for that. So when there's a new offer like that 50 off 250 plus, I want to jump on it and make sure I'm one of the first ones to add it to my cards, because oftentimes those offers are not infinitely available. They're going to be capped. So the sooner you know about it, and that's the point of the offer alert, so that you know that they're available, then you log into the bank sites and then you add yours, and that way you make sure that you don't miss it and you maximize your savings there.
And what section did you say that was in?
Yeah, it's offer alerts. If you click on from the offers tab, if you scroll all the way to the right on the shortcuts thing, it'll be right there. It's also available from the for you screen too.
Okay, cool. That's really awesome. I mean, I've been waiting for an offer for Princess Cruises for a while, because I have a cruise next year that I was telling Chris about on the show this week. And I did this with my Norwegian cruise last year. Whenever the Amex offer came up, I just paid that chunk and saved hundreds of dollars at a time. So that would be an awesome tip for that situation.
Yeah, perfect offer. Pop in Princess Cruise there, and you'll know as soon as one's available. Yep.
Yeah,
It
cool.
looks like Zach just did that too. He just mentioned the Facebook comments. In June, he said, well, I was staying at the Hyatt Regency, and Amex offer popped up for his Amex Platinum. CardPointers helped me identify the offer, and he said he usually uses his Hyatt Visa card for these stays, but since he had 2 Amex Platinum cards, he saved $160, and that alerted him during his stay. So he wasn't even going to use that card, and he did, and it saved him $160. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. I would never think to use a platinum at a Hyatt, but
Right.
that's such a perfect example.
Right.
Hmm.
Nice
Good
job,
call, Zach.
Yeah, love that. Okay, let's see. Well, you have covered all of my questions, and then the questions we actually got that were submitted before. So do we have any, Chris? I'm not looking at. Do we have any
Yeah.
additional
We
questions?
got one here from Roxanne. It says, I think I bought a lifetime membership a while back. How can I verify that?
Sure. So inside the app, if you go into the app settings screen, there's a Card Pointers Plus screen, and then in there, it'll tell you your current status. And it looks different on the different platforms. So Android will show you that. It'll show it as, I think, a web purchase, and then it'll show that it expires in 2225. So it'll be good for 200 years. So that should be good.
It's not lifetime. Well, I guess it is.
Well, if you
Not
manage,
Not for
if you're
vampires.
immortal, I think we've got a problem. But
Not
that's not even my limitation. That's actually through Revenue Cat, a service that I use to track the lifetime stuff. So as we get closer to 2225, if I'm still around, I will make sure that they extend it to 2425 and give everyone an extra 200 years at least. So we'll figure that one
Nice.
out. So yeah, you can do it through settings as well as through the cardpointers.com/account page. There's a Card Pointers Plus sub tab on the web, and that will show you as well that you have lifetime access or not. And you can always email me too, support@cardpointers.com. It's just me who builds everything and replies to every email.
That's crazy.
So, anytime you have a question, just shoot me an email. Happy to help.
Well, Amy's got one for you as well. She just bought an annual membership. Can she switch it to lifetime?
Sure. Yeah. Amy, just send an email to support@cardpointers.com. Mention that question, and I'll send you a link so you can just pay the difference and upgrade there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, I think that's all we got from the Facebook group. Emmanuel, thank you so much. This was, I've been using Card Pointers for a couple of years now, and I've already loved it. But now I'm so excited. I'm gonna go dive into the app again, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go set up those favorites and alerts and things right now.
Yeah.
Great to hear. Yeah, and in general, like my approach for Card Pointers is like there are a ton of features, right? And it's evolved a lot over 6 years. I tried to make it, like simple for like someone just getting started. But as you want to explore more features, like it's meant to be there and like on your own time, kind of explore things. There's always more I can do to help service features too. It's always a hard balance, but I try my best to make it something that you can, you should feel free to explore, try things like widgets, shortcuts, all those things are these deep system integrations that are super powerful, but a lot of people don't know to go look for them. But when you find them, you get these really nice surprises too. So it's always good to kind of explore that. And this goes for not only Card Pointers, but other apps too. They'll have system integrations, especially on the iOS side, Android as well. But iOS has really deep system integrations that are really useful for this kind of stuff. So always good to just explore and try things out.
That's really cool. Thank you so much for diving into this with us tonight, Emmanuel. And it's a really cool app, and I love that you've taken your background in points of miles, as well as your background in computer science and software engineering and all of that, and kind of combined them into this really cool tool. So, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
For me as well. Thanks again so much for having me. Really appreciate it, and love the podcast. So looking forward to the next one.